early on when you start the book, and you tell an interesting story to kind of characterize who is Andre Norman when you're in prison.
Right.
And you wake up in your jail cell, you're hungry.
I'm hungry. I get hungry often.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
But I think it's important that you tell the story because of like who you were, at that point, what the mindset was, and what it was like to interact with you.
Well, first, my big brother, Dave Spence, as I told him the story, he said, that's the story I want in your book. Dave Spence requested that. So because I love Dave and he's a big brother to me, I put it in there. Tucker decided it went first, but it was going in there. So the story was, I woke up, I'm in prison. I'm the third ranking gang member in the state. I control contraband, I control knives, I control gang movement, I control a lot of stuff. So I wake up in my cell and I'm hungry. And as a prison boss, you get benefits. So I said, I'm hungry. I get up, walk out of my cell. I walk downstairs to the desk, get a guy a head nod. He opens the gate. I walk into the hallway. I start walking down the hallway. I get to the sergeant's desk, give him a head nod. He opens the gate. I walk down the hallway some more. I get to central control, where this is where they control the whole prison. I can't go in central control, but it's from here they control all doors, all everything. I look at the guy, there's a hallway across from him. I give him a head nod, he opens a hallway door. So I go down this long hallway. I get to the end of the hallway is a kitchen. I knock on the kitchen door. The guy slides the metal thing back. He looks, he sees it's me. I give him a head nod, they open the kitchen door. Now I'm standing in the prison kitchen. Grills, vats, all the stuff. I turn to the two guys over by the grill. I said, yo, make me a hamburger. Turn to the other guy, yo, go make me a shake. And I'm standing there chilling like, yo, okay, I'm about to eat. Then this guy comes out of the kitchen, out of the back. Suit jacket on. He says, what are you doing in my kitchen? You're not dressed properly. You're not this, you're not that. You're not on my schedule. Who are you? I'm like, he's screaming at me like, who are you? What are you doing in my kitchen? I'm like, slow down. He said, well, who are you? At the time, we're going to go back to the 90s, there was a song out called The Regulator by Warren G and them. I said, I'm the regulator. He says, well, what do you regulate? I said, if you go home or not. He says, what do you mean? I said, first, all the screaming you're doing is not necessary. We're grown men, we can communicate like grown men. And I regulate if you go home in a box or you walk out of here on your 2 feet. That's who I am. And he heard me and he's looking at me like to see if I'm joking, but I'm not joking. I'm like, dude, I can kill you right now. Understand where you are and who you're talking to, because evidently somebody didn't inform you of what's really going on in here. You read the manual or the handbook for staff, that shit don't matter in here. I decide if you go home, not you. Now, if you don't pay attention, let me help you out. I came through 5 locked doors to get into this kitchen. Everybody in here is doing exactly what I said, including your staff, with no problems and no issues. You got the problem, and you're trying to get in my way of eating. I'm not trying to be a tough guy. I'm not trying to be over the top, but this is facts. Right now, they're cooking me a hamburger, and you're telling them not to. If I kill you, you'll be dead. Your wife will miss you. Your kids will miss you. I'll go to solitary confinement, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. And while I'm in solitary, I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I'll sit in solitary. I'll do my solitary time. And then they're going to let me out of solitary. Because I just came out of solitary for trying to kill 8 people. I'll get back out in 7 years. Now I'll be standing back in the same kitchen. And they're going to make me a hamburger then. With no qualms. So my only dilemma, which is the question to you, do I get a hamburger today? Or do I give it in 7 years? It's your call. I'm just hungry. And I'm patient. And he's looking at me like, oh my God. Nobody's coming to his rescue. I just threatened to kill him like 5 times in the air shot of like 4 guards. Nobody's moving. And I'm like, today or 7 years, brother, it's your call. And he walked over to the grill. He said to the grill man, make him 2. And then he ran into his office and slammed the door and called his wife. Like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? What they didn't explain to him was, prisoners run the prison. They just work there. And it was not me trying to be tough, but he was like in my way of what I wanted. And when people get in my way, you got to deal with it. And there's consequences to everything. He was at war with my hunger. And I was going to fight that war. If it meant 7 years to victory, then I'll do 7 years to get to my victory. He'd have just been a casualty along my way.